What's up, my Portuguesies, and welcome back to some more banger Portugal action. If you've been dutifully following along like I know you have, I apologize for the hiatus in my uploads. I took a little vacation over 4th of July weekend. I went up to Michigan to visit a couple of buddies up there, hang out on the lake, do boating things. I'm not sure if all of those are going to be suitable for public internet consumption, but we'll see when we get to them. In the meantime, I got to catch up on Portugal. So here we are. This was our first overnight trip in Portugal of the entire trip. We went to Porto, which is probably the second biggest city in the country behind Lisboa. I'm guessing on that, would have to look it up. But it was fantastic. It is on the coast. I'd call it more of a river town than a coastal town, though. It's a very big river that feeds into the ocean. It probably is about the only one in Portugal. There's not many rivers that I recall driving over anyway. And it's very sloped down to the river, and that entire slope is kind of built out with the extremely old city, the whole deal that you get in Europe. So it's really beautiful. The river I live near has a lot to be desired compared to Porto. I'll just say that. But let's jump right into it. I don't have a whole lot here to show you. This was just very first got out of the car. It's like, wow, I want to turn on my camera and take some pictures. So the bridges there were just fantastic. Just beautiful bridges. I mentioned the slopes down to the water. So what you have are these very tall bridges that span the top of those slopes, and there's a lot of them. And so every bridge you see is really high off the water. And I got the sense that this was a little bridge we walked over with a creek. I got the sense that this river, I really should have looked up the name. Whoops, couldn't pronounce it anyway, but doesn't flood much. They had some built-in flood protection, I'd say, but it didn't look like they were expecting much flooding, so that was just something of interest to note, I thought. So this should all be fresh water, maybe brackish water. It's a very slow-moving river, so there's probably some salt that might creep up. I did not taste it. I should have. I kind of regret that now that I'm thinking about it. But lots of seagulls hanging out on the beach, if you can see them. Although my focus was on the boats here, I think. Awesome boats. We saw some very nice boats cruising up and down the river, and we did go on a riverboat cruise that's coming. So this is right off the front door of our Airbnb that tourist hosters are stealing our homes with a crosshair. That was a little menacing. Yeah, but we didn't get any problems from the locals. Kind of weird. I'm showing a bunch of trash cans and recycling bins, but just showing day in the life of a seagull here. Surviving by any means necessary. That includes going through the trash, I suppose. Yeah, we got a little too close here and scared them away, so I came back. Yeah, this made me think I really don't know what seagulls' native diet is. Are they catching fish? They don't really have the talons for that, or the beak of a pelican to dive in the water, so I don't know. I don't know what seagulls are normally eating. I think they're just eating whatever they can get their beaks on. This was beautiful. This was the top balcony in our Airbnb. This is kind of my answer to a panoramic picture. I just thought I'd take a slow video. Beautiful view, as you can see. It looked even more spectacular in person. I was a little surprised at the abandoned buildings next to us here. This was like what I would consider prime real estate in Porto. This house had to be, it was huge. Easily €1 million, I'm guessing, but fantastic house. I'm surprised somebody doesn't buy those abandoned buildings. And yeah, here we have the view from this balcony down to the first story pool.
It's going to be a cannonball depth charge right off that roof. Just give it a couple hours. Just leave it up.
Yeah, I'm not going to show that. It wasn't quite from here. People were jumping in from the balcony down below, but stay tuned. We're going to walk around the Porto market. It's going to be great.